Welcome back to a special edition of Jazz Unlimited with Paul Anthony, a tribute to Chick Corea. We start things off with a special edition of Jazz Unlimited with an album where Chick was a sideman with the Stan Getz Quartet. Why do I choose this? Because it's an album that I will take to the desert island. Sweet Rain, it's called, on Verve, with Ron Carter and Grady Tate. And Chick played an exemplary piano on this whole CD, and it was just tremendous. In 1982, there was a performance at the White House that WETA, the television station that I worked for, was covering. So I went to the rehearsal at the White House in the East Room on a given afternoon. I think it was a Thursday. And Chick was there with Stan Getz and a then relatively unknown woman by the name of Diane Shore, who was making her debut. She became famous after this particular television program. But in the course of it, Chick walked out of the East Room, went outside on the portico, was taking some air, and I was watching him. I was outside the East Room. And he came back in, and before he went back into the East Room, he noticed a piano that was sitting a little bit farther in on the entryway. And he came in and he went over and started playing it, standing there and just kind of, running up and down the keyboard. And two guards came over. And they picked him up literally by his elbows and said, "You cannot play that." And he said, he says, "I'm a piano player. I'm just trying it out." And they said, "This is not, public for the public to do." And he made a comment. He says, "You realize, don't you, that we own this house as a citizen of the U.S. And I'm just particular." They would not let him do it. They escorted him back into the East Room. I mentioned this to Chick later on when he was appearing with Gary Burton someplace, and he remembered it. He says, there's a few things I remember in my life. That was one of them. Interesting endeavor here at the White House. This program is a small tribute to Chick Corea, who died February 9th, 5 months short of his 80th birthday in Clearwater, Florida. It's impossible to play all the significant music Chick contributed to the jazz lexicon, so just some highlights in the next hour. The next piece was the title tune of Chick's debut album, recorded in 1966, released in 1968, with Steve Swallow on bass and Joe Chambers on drums. The title tune, Tones for Joan's Bones.